This lesson is on finding our P's and Q's. So our P's and Q's, what they're going to do is they're going to help us find the rational roots or the factors of an equation. Okay, so first let's break this down and look at this. The P is the factors of the constant term. So remember that the constant term is the number. Then the Q is the factors of the leading coefficient. So highest exponent. All right, so if we're looking at that first one, we first want to identify the constant. The constant is the number. So this is 36. Okay, so the factors of that are, if you were to make a factor tree, what is everything that would divide 36? Positive and negative 1, positive and negative 2, positive and negative 3, positive and negative 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. Okay, those are all the things that will divide 36 nicely. Now we look at the coefficient. The highest coefficient. Okay, so the highest is this 2x to the third. So the coefficient of that is the 2. Coefficient means number out in front. So this is saying, what are all the things that nicely divide 2? Well, 1 and 2. So then the possible factors are P divided by Q. We're taking every P value and dividing it by every Q. So we're going to take every one in the top row and divide it by the bottom. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. 3 divided by 1 is 3. We're just going to keep listing those because we're just dividing them all by 1. So they're going to be themselves. Okay, now we have to go through and take this entire list and we have to divide it by 2. So 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. We don't need to list that again. 3 divided by 2 is 3/2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. We don't need to list it because it's already there. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 9 divided by 2 is going to be 9/2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 18 divided by 2 is 9. And 36 divided by 2 is 18. So these are all the fraction answers. Okay, so what is this giving us? This is giving us a list of all of the possible things to do synthetic division with. So we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 options for synthetic division. That's crazy. A ton of stuff. So hopefully you make the right guess on the first couple, which again, we're going to do in the next couple lessons to help you figure out what some of the roots are to this. Okay, so let's look at another one. That was the hard one. Definitely the hard one to begin with. All right, so let's look at the constant. The constant is the number 2. Okay, the factors of the constant, what divides to give you 2? 1 and 2. The coefficient, that's the number out in front of the x, also 2. Plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2. Our possible factors are going to be P divided by Q. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. Then you have to go 1 divided by 2. 1/2. And then 2 divided by 2 gives us 1, which is already in our list. So that's all. This one has 1, 2, 3. So there's 6 options for synthetic division. That's way better than the one before that had 24. All right, then let's look at the third one. Okay, the constant is the number. 3. What multiplies to give us 3? 1 and 3. The coefficient, 3. What multiplies to give us 3? 1 and 3. Possible factors, P over Q. So we're doing 1 divided by 1, which is 1. 3 divided by 1 is plus or minus 3. Then we're going to take 1 divided by 3 and get 1/3. Then we're going to take 3 divided by 3, which is 1, which is already on our list. So this is another one with 6 options for synthetic. And we'll get into what we're going to do with that in synthetic division in the next lesson.